Created live on Fireside.
Welcome to Athletic Definition. I'm your host, Coach Ray Z. Fellow Firesiders and everybody watching on the stream, acknowledge me. Today's show is about acknowledging me and self-doubt. For those of you joining me for the first time, you may not know anything about me. Let me tell you, I have completed 58 marathons, blue belt in jiu-jitsu, U.S. track and field certified coach, kettlebell certification. I've completed back-to-back marathons twice. I have ran the Lake Tahoe Triple, which is 3 marathons in 3 days. In 2018, I ran a marathon a month for the whole year. Actually did a bonus one in October, all the way up until March of 2019. I have also stair climbed the U.S. Bank Tower, which is the tallest stairwell west of the Mississippi. It is 1,664 steps, 75 stories, and I did that in 2018 and 2019. Even after accomplishing all that, I had self-doubt. I was like, why would anybody want to listen to me? I always wanted to start a podcast, but I never really did what I needed to do to start the podcast, even though I wanted it and I had that seed planted in my head for so long. And I'm like, why would people want to listen to me? Why would they even consider me a coach, even though with those certifications and accomplishments, I'm not buff, I'm not full of steroids. I had self-doubt. I went to a running class where they show you specific exercises for running, and the guy was trying to sign me up, and he was trying to tell me how he could help me with marathoning. Of course, I told him nothing about me. I come to find out that he's never actually ran a marathon, yet he's training people on how to run a marathon. And that's when I started thinking, I could definitely start coaching people. I've coached people in the past. It's not something I wanted to do before. People asked me to, and I helped them along the way. I gave them advice. And then I was working for a bank for 10 years, and I was just unhappy, really unhappy, hated the job. And I said, I'm going to go after my passion. I'm going to do what I want to do. And that is help people reach their fitness goals. So I started basically looking for a job, even though I knew I was going to take a pay cut. I knew I was giving up a month of vacation. I knew I was giving up good benefits. I'm not going to say good pay, but it was okay pay. And then I got laid off the first day during the second wave of, the whole virus during the pandemic. Well, I was so excited when I got my first podcast listen and when I saw that I was reaching all over the world and all the states, because now my podcast has reached all 50 states in the United States. And last I checked, I reached over 70 countries. Recently, I was on TikTok, which I'm not really on TikTok too much, but this podcaster who I keep seeing everywhere, but I've never really knew his name. His name is Chris Williamson, and he's had David Goggins on there and Andrew Huberman and a bunch of other people that I want to have on my podcast. So obviously he's made it to a different level. And what he said is that 90% of all podcasts fail to go beyond 3 episodes. From those 10 that do go past 3 episodes, 90% of them fail to go beyond 20 episodes. So if you hit 21 podcast episodes or more, you're in the top percentile of all podcasters in history.
90% of podcasts don't make it past episode 3. And of the 90%, the 10% that do, 90% don't make it past episode 20. So by making 21 podcasts, you're in the top percentile of all podcasters ever in history.
And who would have thought that I would have accomplished that? Because now this is like episode 185 or 186 in under 2 years. Even though I may not be having these David Goggins yet, or Andrew Huberman yet, or Joe Rogan yet, I'm in the top percent of all podcasters in history. And that made me reflect of how far I have come and the accomplishments I have done, and how if you have self-doubt, don't let that stop you, whether it's to walk a mile, to lose some weight, to get in better shape, to find a better job. If you've been listening to my past episodes, I had a show called The Struggle is Real, and I talk about how I got a new job, which be sure to stick around. I'll fill you in what's going on with that as well. But I'm just like amazed now when I'm really kind of reflecting on everything I've done and where I'm at and where it started and how I had all this self-doubt, even though in the whole world, less than 1% of the population will ever run a marathon. Well, then when you break it down, how many will even run 58? That's even less. And then when you find out the percentage of people who even will try jujitsu, and then the percentage of people who actually make it to a belt and they actually go on and get certifications. And then I found out that you should, according to all the experts, niche down and only talk about one thing. Well, I've broken all the rules and I've had great success, and I'm happy where I'm at. So I'm glad I didn't follow the rules. There are no rules in podcasting, and there's no rules in life. Well, besides, going around and killing people, which will get you in jail most of the time. But in that short amount of time, I got early access to video on Spotify. In fact, I got early access to Fireside, which is the first Web3 interactive platform co-founded by Mark Cuban and Fallon, which to me has been a blessing. It's great. And I'm like, looking back, I didn't even realize what I was getting into and how it's helping me separate from these other podcasters. Because yeah, they're podcasters and they're YouTubers, but it's a whole different animal. What I'm doing, in my opinion, and the opportunities and the doors that are opening up. After realizing from that podcaster what he said, I started reflecting, and I realized that TikTok has reached out to me, and you guys need to go support my Athletic Definition TikTok because I really don't have followers. I don't post too often, but even with that posting too often, TikTok felt that they should reach out to me and they wanted to know more about my podcast. I think at the time they were just trying to see what they could do because podcast and audio was really popping off with, Clubhouse and LinkedIn audio and so many different other platforms. I also got early access to multiple apps where they're all about audio, or AMP, which is by Amazon, where you can be a live DJ. I got recruited by a company called Bright Live, which I ended up turning down because their contract sucked. They wanted me to sign a contract. Basically, it was co-founded by Guy Orgensen, who is basically has clients like Madonna and Red Hot Chili Peppers, and it was co-founded by Ashton Kutcher, and they brought people on board from all these famous people like Jessica Alba, and they're reaching out to me and wanting me to sign an exclusive contract with them. And like I said, I turned it down. And this was all in the beginning. So YouTubers, Twitchers, Spotify, iHeart, Apple, Amazon, Audible, Pocket Cast, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Cast, Box FM, and many more acknowledge me because I'm rattling cages and I'm making moves, and I don't want to be the head of the table, but make room for me at the table because I'm coming. Just wait. This is just the beginning. In the short time I've started, like I said, it's going to be 2 years in May. I've already had Olympians, pro MMA fighters, black belts in different martial arts. I've had kettlebell coaches and ultra runners and bodybuilders and fitness icons like Steve Maxwell and Steve Cotter, yoga coaches, and just to name a few. Like I said, check out some of the episodes. They're really inspiring. I try to get on as many inspiring people as I can. But besides that, I learned how to do solo shows and interact with audiences, which is something that no other podcast has because this is what's different about Fireside. So if you've never been on Fireside, be sure to download it. And if not, you can still check it out like on a regular computer and you could interact. Just check it out. In less than 2 years on Fireside, because this is the platform that I'm dedicated to, I've reached over 20,000 followers. So thank you, everybody. I really appreciate your support. Thank you, everybody who listens on the podcast and on YouTube. I also see YouTube put a tab for podcasting. So they're really pushing podcasts as well now. And I really would appreciate anybody to subscribe if you like what I'm doing, if you like the message that I'm doing. I'm going to continue to shine no matter what adversity comes my way. I am a needle mover, and you're going to see bigger and better things coming from me. as far as the job that I got, I left, like I said, the bank. Since then, it's been kind of crazy. I got fitness clients pretty easily. And then after that, what happened is I had my Cadillac converter stolen, and that pretty much wrecked me. I spent money and other things and just for survival and paying for rent. So I didn't really have extra money to buy another car. I ended up getting this part-time job, and they treated me good, gave me benefits. And then I received a better opportunity, actually two opportunities, because I applied. I said, you know what? I want to take the show to another level. And for me to do that, I need to invest in it. Investing in yourself is the best thing you could do. I've invested in different certifications and gyms and NLP practitioner so I can communicate better and speak better. And I've done Toastmasters, and anything you can do from inexpensive to expensive. Invest in yourself. You're worth it. Don't let anybody or yourself give you self-doubt about not investing in yourself. I was there for just about a year, and I decided to apply at 3 jobs. And out of the 3 jobs, I got 2 interviews the same day. The next day they called me. They wanted to interview me. I had 2 interviews. They happened to pick the same day, so I took them both. And then they both called me back again the same day and told me they wanted to do a second interview, and it happened to be the same day. I got the job offers the same day for both jobs, which actually on my previous job at the bank, I had a choice between business department or the treasury because I got 2 job offers the same day. So I'm confident with my skills. And even now, with everything I've learned about Web3 and the courses that I'm taking for myself, for learning more about it, I'm confident in my skills. My marketing skills have even got even better in my sales. Between the 2 jobs, I took the one with the better hours for me so that in the long run, I already know I don't want to work for anybody. I know in past episodes I said I am a good employee, which is true, but I'm also an entrepreneur, a solopreneur. I've been able to, on Fireside, actually launch a few podcasts. I have Drunks, which is a beer review show about fitness. I've launched one in Spanish, done a few ones in Spanish. And then I have a football one here, just exclusive on Fireside. So really, I've done over 200 episodes. And then I took this job because of that. Me and the owner agreed to 90 days, like typical job. This is how much you're going to get paid. Hey, if you think I suck after the 90 days or before, you have the right to terminate me at any point. If I don't like the job, I have the right to quit, even after 90 days. Well, he wanted me to basically memorize all these models, which, hey, you're the boss, you could do whatever, but there was nothing written or anything indicated to me in the multiple interviews that I would have to memorize models. I've never been late, always on time. People with cars have showed up late. The manager, who turns out to be a snake stealing my deals, showed up late in the rain. Guess what? I walk to work. It takes me an hour and a half to walk to work and an hour and a half back, and I don't show up late, even without a car. And everybody since I've been there has showed up late. So it just goes to show the work ethic and the determination that I have and the dedication. And even though I started getting treated bad and I could see the negative vibe going on in there, it's for myself and the type of work that I want to do. It'd be really easy for me to say, fuck this job, fuck the way they treat me. But no, it's really about how do I want to be, the type of work I want to do. So basically what happened is he's like, I'm going to give you a pay cut, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, there's nothing in writing, but I agreed to it because his negative and limiting belief was that I can't sell nothing unless I memorize the models. Well, what ended up happening is I closed 3 deals in the last, 2 weeks, made him about $15,000, which is way more than he's paid me. And I didn't memorize a few of the models, but not all of them. And because of that, he decided to cut my pay by $3, which is a lot. But because I started closing deals, he's like, I usually wait 3 months, the 90 days before I start paying you commission, but I'm going to pay you commission. And to me, that doesn't make sense. So basically, this Monday, when I go to work, because they don't pay you till the end of the day, I'm going to go get my check. I'm going to go cash it. I usually deposit, but because I'm basically not going to go back. I know my value. I know what I'm worth. The thing is that I don't know if you've listened to this show in the past, but I've gotten offers to sell vitamins and get commission, but I don't believe in those products. And one thing that I don't want to do is lie to my audience and tell them, oh yeah, take this product and do this, because to me, all you have is your word. And if you can't, if the audience doesn't trust me, and I would feel like a piece of shit. Like, how could I go around telling people, buy this, do this workout, when I know it's not going to help you? I don't want to be like the typical salesman. I don't want to be sleazy. I don't want to do any of that. That's why I left the bank. I didn't want to do any of that. I wanted to be honest. I did my due diligence before I accept this job, and I checked out. Do they have complaints? Everything like that. It's a fairly new company, about 5 years. So I only saw a couple complaints, but just being there, seeing the, basically after you buy something, if you have an issue with it, that he doesn't really care. He doesn't really care about the end user or the end result. He cares about the money. And I had already made the decision that I'm not going to do that, because how could I be turning down deals to get paid here on my podcast, but then do that for a living? And even though I'm back in the same situation that I was when I left the bank in 2020, I'd rather have my word that it means something and value than just to, because if not, why, I could just go sell drugs. I could go back, like back in the day, and just do whatever it takes to make money. But that's not the kind of example. That's not what my show is about. It's about positivity, motivation, trying to do the right thing, trying to walk the right path, even though it's not easy. I don't have my glasses, but I think Kelsey joined. So thank you for joining. And basically, it's going to be possibly tough for the next couple months. Who knows? But I have so much faith, and I know my value, and I know the skills that I offer, and I know what I bring to the table. I just want to basically encourage everybody that, because I see so many people at my job unhappy, and I see the way they're treated, but they're stuck there. I don't know why. For many years, I kind of started wanting to follow the path of a minimalist, and I have gotten rid of so many things. So I really could fit all my life possessions in a 10 by 10 room. And any car that I get, I don't want to pay monthly payments, because I like the freedom to be able to not be irresponsible, but if I don't agree with the way you're treating me, or the energy, or, after working for the bank that had a documentary made about it called Dirty Money, and just seeing the movie The Devil's Advocate, where basically everything in life that was presented to him was a test to see if he would do the right thing or not. I'm at the point in my life where, I have kids. I want to be a good example. And if everybody just does everything for money all the time, like back in 2018, 2008, during the whole real estate bubble, when everybody was knowing what was going on, from the people doing, pretending that they had the money to afford these houses with low interest rates, to real estate agents, to loan officers, to everybody. And then it caused the bubble. If everybody does that for money, look at the situation that's caused. And what is the saying? All it takes is for one man to do nothing for evil to triumph. I finally said, you know what? Money's not my motivator. Of course, who doesn't want to live a good life? But money's not my ultimate motivator. And as far as any funeral I've gone to, and unfortunately, I've seen a lot of death and gone to a lot of funerals, from natural causes to people being murdered and it's still unsolved. No one ever said, man, how much money did that person make? Did you see how much money that person made? Oh, look at that quality dirt that person's buried in versus the other person. It wasn't better dirt or anything like that. So to me, all you have is, in my opinion, the example and the legacy that you're trying to leave. And the legacy that I want to leave for my kids and as I get older, I realize my great parents and everything, it's like, it was everything to better ourselves. I am first generation Mexican American, and before the racists start saying anything, both of my parents came here legally. I have their legacy to live on because they worked hard to start their own business and the struggles. And I want to better just not only my kids, but my nephews. Unfortunately, in the land community and maybe in other ones, drinking is a big thing. And I see some of my older uncles or family members just abusing alcohol. And I try to be, hey, I believe in balance. That's why I do that other podcast here every other Monday called Drunks. But you can't abuse it. There's other people watching you and you're an example to them. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm far from perfect. A lot of times I say, do as I say, not as I do. But I try my best, and that's pretty much all you could do. As Ray Lewis, former Super Bowl champion, says, no one can judge effort. The only one that can judge it is you. If you went out and gave it your all and it doesn't work out, then you can be satisfied. Because I know at this job, I gave it 110%. I was never late, always on time. And for me, I just can't sell. I mean, one of the items that I sold already within 3 days, it's not working properly. And God, I hope they do the right thing and fulfill the warranty. But I can't live with myself. It's not worth it for me for a quick buck. I'd rather make less money or hopefully make the same amount of money, but an honest living. And they say good workers are hard to find. I say good employers are hard to find. I wish everybody the best of luck. And if no one's acknowledging for the hard work you do, the plays that you're doing, the sales, just keep going. I acknowledge you. If you have an awesome fitness story, something that you've overcome, reach out to me. I would love to give you the platform and help you shine as well. So thank you, everybody, for joining. This has been a short episode of Athletic Definition. I will be back maybe this weekend. I need to do the OC Marathon preview for 2023. I am an ambassador for them. Once again, they invited me back this year. So I will be running my 59th marathon on May 7th. If you use the discount code RayRuns10, you can either run the family 5K or the half marathon and get 10% off any race to bigger and better things in 2023. Thank you, everybody, for joining.